everyone. I'm Sera Taíno. I write romances. This month is National Poetry Month. Normally, in a non-pandemic situation, I would be celebrating this month with my students. We would be doing different poetry activities and readings, but this year is a little bit strange, so I decided to record myself reading poetry to my students and posting them to the online platforms where they're currently taking classes right now. And I figured while I have makeup on, I'd do it for you too. So I can't promise every day, but I'm certainly going to try. I'm going to choose poems that I like. Some of them inform my writing. A lot of poetry informs my writing, but I hope also to just kind of read things that I like. So the first poem that I'm going to be reading today is by the amazing Julia de Burgos. This comes from her second poetry collection called Song of the Simple Truth. She is a Puerto Rican poet who won numerous awards for her poetry. She was born in 1914, grew up in Puerto Rico. She had a very impoverished background. She managed to go to college with a teaching certificate, and she became a civil rights activist. She was also an independista, means she agitated for Puerto Rican independence. She very much advocated for the inclusion of the Afro-Caribbean and Afro-Latinx experience in Puerto Rican literary canon. She was recognized by her fellow poets, including Pablo Neruda, who we're going to probably read from this month. She predated the Nuyorican poetry movement and actually moved to New York in 1940, where she lived until she died. So I'm going to read her most famous poem, which is called Rio Grande de Loíza. Because she was a feminist, she is also very much ties her identity to who she is as a Puerto Rican. And so her poems pull a lot from her native country. Grande de Loíza is the largest river by volume in Puerto Rico, and it starts from the south and flows to the north through all the way through San Juan and into the ocean. So it's an important poem. It also speaks about an important feature of Puerto Rican landscape. So hope you enjoy it. I'm going to read it in English, even though it sounds better in Spanish. Okay. Rio Grande de Loíza. Rio Grande de Loíza, elongate yourself in my spirit, and let my soul lose itself in your rivulets. Finding the fountain that robbed you as a child, and in a crazed impulse returned you to the path. Coil yourself around my lips, and let me drink you, to feel you mine for a brief moment, to hide you from the world and hide you in yourself, to hear astonished voices in the mouth of the wind. Dismount for a moment from the loin of the earth and search for the intimate secret in my desires. Confuse yourself in the flight of my bird fantasy and leave a rose of water in my dreams. Rio Grande de Loíza, my wellspring, my river, since the maternal petal lifted me to the world, my pale desires come down in you from the craggy hills to find new furrows, and my childhood was all a poem in the river, and a river in the poem of my first dreams. Adolescence arrived, life surprised me, pinned to the widest part of your eternal voyage, and I was yours 1,000 times, and in a beautiful romance, you awoke my soul and kissed my body. Where did you take the waters that bathed my body in a sun blossomed, recently opened? Who knows on what remote Mediterranean shore some fawn shall be possessing me? Who knows in what rainfall of what far land I shall be spilling to open new furrows, or perhaps tired of biting hearts, I shall be freezing in icicles. Rio Grande de Loíza, blue, brown, red, blue mirror fallen piece of blue sky, naked white flesh that turns black each time the night enters your bed. Red stripe of blood when the rain falls in torrents and the hills vomit their blood. Man river, but man with the purity of river, because you give your blue soul when you give your blue kiss. Most sovereign river mine, man river, the only man who has kissed my soul upon kissing my body. Rio Grande de Loíza, great river, great flood of tears, the greatest of all our island's tears, save those greater that come from the eyes of my soul for my enslaved people. Hope you enjoyed that. Maybe I'll do it again tomorrow. Have a good day.